You ever have those days where your mind just will not shut off? It's constantly chasing something, reacting to everything, and you just can't find a moment of peace? Yeah, that's a pretty universal feeling. Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive into some really timeless wisdom that gets right to the heart of that restlessness, and it offers a clear path back to a state of inner calm. So let's explore that path together.
This is the big question, right? It's at the root of so many of our struggles. We feel agitated, anxious, we're always chasing after something. But why? It turns out, three incredible masters, Kabir, Mira, and Tukaram, got to the bottom of this with amazing clarity. And what they found is that it all starts with the mind's own habits. Okay, so our first clue comes from the 15th century mystic Kabir, and he uses this powerful metaphor. He says the mind is like a frantic dog stuck inside a temple made of glass. It sees its own reflection everywhere, thinks it's another dog, and literally barks itself to death. The insight here is huge. So often, the mind creates its own suffering by fighting its own projections.
And he doesn't stop there. His next image is just as sharp. Picture a powerful lion looking down into a well and seeing its own reflection. It thinks it's a rival, so what does it do? It leaps in to attack the image. This is a perfect symbol for how our minds aggressively pounce on perceived threats, which, a lot of the time, are just fleeting thoughts, just illusions in the well of our own consciousness.
Then you've got the elephant. We're talking about immense raw power here, but it sees its reflection in a big crystal boulder and just attacks it, wasting every ounce of its energy on an illusion it can never, ever conquer. That's our mind, wasting incredible force fighting against these impenetrable obstacles that we ourselves created.
And finally, we have the monkey. Now this one might hit a little close to home. The monkey has its fist clenched around a handful of sweets, but it refuses to let go. And because it won't open its fist, it's trapped. This is such a brilliant illustration of how we cling so tightly to our desires. And that act of clinging, that's the very thing that keeps us stuck and restless.
So you see the pattern here, right? What's the common thread with all these animals? They aren't trapped by anything real. They're trapped by illusion. They're mistaking the reflection for the real deal. And Kabir's diagnosis is that this is our fundamental problem. We suffer because our minds have forgotten what they really are and have gotten lost just chasing shadows.
So after showing us the problem, Kabir hits us with this absolutely piercing question. It's a wake-up call. It's designed to make you ask, wait a minute, what is this cage that I feel like I'm in? And who exactly put me here? The stunning implication, the thing that just flips everything on its head, is that the trap is internal. We are the ones who have caught ourselves. Okay, so if we've trapped ourselves in illusion, how in the world do we get free? Well, this is where we find the golden thread that connects all three of these masters. It's a practice called Remembrance, or smarana, and it's really just the simple, conscious, and this part's important, loving act of bringing our attention back from all the distractions to the deepest truth of who we are.
Now, what's so cool about this is that it isn't just some nice philosophical idea. It's framed as a direct antidote. It's a practical bridge. It is the tool that can literally carry us from the frantic, restless energy of those animals we just talked about to a state of real, unshakable inner peace.
Now, while the destination is the same for all of us, that inner peace, our three masters offer slightly different paths to get there. So let's take a look at how Kabir, Mira, and Tukaram each guide us in this powerful practice of remembrance.
So we've already met Kabir. His path is all about wisdom, about sharp discernment. He basically hands you a sword of self-inquiry and says, use this, cut through the illusions your mind is creating. His whole message is a call to constantly question what you're clinging to and to wake up to your true, free nature.
Next up, we have Mira, and her path is completely different. It's one of pure, focused devotion. So where Kabir uses wisdom to expose everything that is unreal, Mira uses love to embrace what is eternally real. Her whole practice is about seeing how temporary worldly things are and then redirecting all of that love, all of the heart's attention, toward the divine.
And our third guide is Tukaram. His voice is so gentle, so compassionate. He sees the mind almost like a lost child, always wandering outside, looking for fulfillment where it can't be found. So his path is this simple, moment-to-moment practice of lovingly, gently guiding that wandering mind back to its real home within.
So when you see it all laid out like this, you can really see the beautiful unity in their approaches. Kabir speaks to the head with wisdom. Mira speaks to the heart with devotion. In Tukaram, he speaks to our moment-to-moment awareness with that gentle guidance. They're three totally distinct paths, but they all use the same core tool, remembrance, to solve the exact same problem, a restless mind that's always looking outside itself.
So what's the big payoff here? What's the point? Well, it's about a total transformation. It's about moving from what the sources call fragmented living, a life of distracted attention, always chasing shadows, to integrated living. A life where you feel rooted in yourself, where you have unwavering clarity and you can actually find peace within.
Okay, this is all incredibly profound wisdom, but I know what you're thinking. How do I actually do this? How do I walk this path? Well, the beautiful thing is, the masters made it incredibly accessible. So let's turn all this timeless knowledge into a simple, actionable practice you can literally start right now.
Here it is, a simple 3-step guide that brings all 3 teachings together. First, use Kabir's wisdom. Just notice when you're caught, when you're being like that monkey clinging to the sweets. Second, channel your inner Mira. Consciously redirect your heart's energy away from the temporary stuff and toward what truly lasts. And third, use Tukaram's gentle touch. Just guide your mind back inside, over and over again, whenever you notice it's wandered off.
And this really is the beautiful conclusion to all of this. You have 3 paths, 3 guides, 3 steps, but they are all leading to one single destination, the realization of your one, true, and peaceful self.
Let me leave you with this one last powerful way to think about it. Our lives, with all their drama and comedy and tragedy, they're like a movie playing out. And our suffering comes from getting so lost in the story that we believe we are the characters in the movie. The whole practice of remembrance helps us step back and realize our true nature is the calm, aware, unchanging screen that the whole show is playing on.
So, the path is clear, but the choice to walk it, well, that's ours to make in every single moment. Are we going to keep roaming outside, chasing reflections and illusions? Or are we going to practice that gentle return to the peace that's already waiting for us inside? Where will you find your true home today?